Okay, so I want to talk about a few things. One is how do you expect to be good at sex if you're scared to embarrass yourself? And you know, it's like a thing in general. You shouldn't be scared to embarrass yourself. Um, because you're gonna hold back and you're not gonna, try new things and try things that scare you. And how can you know that you're going to be you know that the thing that you're stopping from doing because you're scared to do, how, like, you don't know what you're missing out on, you know um you're missing out on your potential. You shouldn't ever be scared to embarrass yourself. you know um it's the oh god, so fucking tired. Like, if you're scared to embarrass yourself, that's like the saddest existence. I think most people are scared to embarrass themselves. Most people live a sad life, you know, because, you know, if you're scared to embarrass yourself, it's like you're ashamed or embarrassed of being a human being. A human being isn't perfect. A human being isn't supposed to be perfect. A human being is supposed to be imperfect and, be proud of their faults and be an expressive, eccentric, weird, um, imperfect person, showing off your personality and being proud of it. You shouldn't hold back. You shouldn't be like a robot like everyone else. You shouldn't be a sheep like everyone else. You shouldn't, um, shape yourself into something that you're not. You shouldn't be somebody that you're not. You know. Um, so that's one thing I want to say. Look at a guy like Russell Brand. He's pretty out there, and he's kind of insecure as well because he's not very nice as a person. Um, I don't think. I don't know. I don't know him well enough to be honest, so it's hard for me to comment. But like, he exudes. Is that the right word? I don't know. But he's himself. He's who he is, and he's eccentric, and he's loud, and he's a celebration of a human being, a celebration of a big personality, of you know someone who's proud of himself. I don't know if he's proud of himself actually. He says like he said like he hates himself and stuff like that. He's not perfect. I mean, he has his imperfections. There are some stuff. Russell Brand isn't the perfect human being. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that. When you think of what I'm talking about, this idea of not embarrassing, not being scared to embarrass yourself. He's not scared to embarrass himself. Um, I don't know. It's hard to say because I'm not him. Maybe he is, but um, um, he's a very eccentric person. He's very out there, and that's basically what I'm encouraging you to be. Don't be scared to embarrass yourself. You don't have to be a copycat. You don't have to be Russell Brand. I'm not saying be Russell Brand. I'm just saying, he's a good example of somebody who's, who he's like the closest person to what I'm describing you should be like. If that makes any sense. I'm not talking about his morals, I'm just talking about, this image I have in my head of, being expressive. He just comes to mind. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, the last thing I want to talk about is my proudest moment, and I personally feel like my proudest moment was in a recording that I did called, I think it's called Screaming Fun. It might be called Milk It Cover. And it's the first it's the first few seconds of that where sorry about that. It's the first few seconds of that where I'm screaming and and I'm very in touch with. I don't know. Yeah, I'm very in touch with doing it right. Let's say that. I feel that was one of the first times that I tried to scream, or first times that I screamed, and first time that I screamed, then it was really like I'm really going for it, and I'm really not holding back, and I'm really doing it properly. I'm doing what screaming is, screaming, instead of this. Oh, you got to use this technique to scream, and you gotta, you know, shape your throat like this, and bloody fucking blah. Um, I mean, a lot of the time when I'm trying to scream these days, or just in general, usually I'm doing it wrong because my approach is completely wrong. The way I think about it is completely wrong. The way I think about it is I'm just trying to, shape my voice and focus on the tone and focus on. This is going to sound kind of surprising that the way I'm thinking is wrong, but what I'm gonna say next, it's just the fact that I'm trying to make it sound good, and the reason that's wrong is because as soon as you try to make your screaming sound good, you're no longer screaming, but you're kind of singing and trying to put an effect on your voice, and that's just from my experience. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. You know, maybe. Maybe that's alright to screaming. put an effect on your voice. Yes, sing and put an effect on your voice. Maybe that's the right thing. It sounds alright on the surface. Maybe it is. Maybe it is alright. Maybe I'm just. Maybe it's just a soul thing that I'm doing wrong. You know? Um, it's just a very subtle thing that I'm doing wrong.